If you are in transition, be patient and accept uncertainty. Here's how to stay calm when your life goes off the rails. Change is non-negotiable. They are simply part of our lives. That much is certain. A change in your circumstances must inevitably be accompanied by a change in perspective. You can, of course, try to avoid the impending upheavals in your life, but then their consequences will hit you all the harder. We find the great uncertainty that accompanies the transition to a new phase of life particularly unpleasant. We humans are creatures of habit who would prefer to stay put until the end of our lives, but that's just not how fate plays out. Here's what you can do when you're faced with an impending change. 1. Hold on to people and habits that ground you. In the eye of the storm, it is essential to orient yourself to the lighthouse. There are also people who are such rocks in the surf and who never let us down. Then, of course, there are certain areas of every existence that provide comfort to some of us and offer security in uncertain times. In addition to certain people who can make change more bearable for you, such anchors include work, hobbies, or volunteer activities. Nobody knows better than you what keeps you centered and grounded when the storms of life rage all too fiercely. Just think ahead about who your rescuers are in times of need and orient yourself around them. Knowing that you can always count on someone or something is already a huge starting advantage in uncertain times. Some also learn how much strength they can draw from certain rituals and practices only in the face of change. If someone finds their salvation in religion, meditation, or sports, such habits can also be the life preserver in stormy waters. 2. Quick fix? No way. It's best to make friends right away with the idea that there will be no easy fix for periods of transformation and transition. Such changes take time, and they will take time. Moving from one stage of life to the next is a marathon, not a sprint. Sometimes fate surprises us too, and it's blow by blow. But basically, you should say goodbye to the beautiful but unfortunately utopian idea that everything will soon go back to its orderly course. Remember, change is rarely one-dimensional. They have a long arm and reach far into the smallest ramifications of your existence. It's not uncommon, for example, for a simple job change to be accompanied by a new place of residence or learning a whole new set of skills. 3. Take one step at a time. A Chinese proverb teaches us, even the longest journey begins with a single step. Take this image literally and carefully put one foot in front of the other when you need to set out for an uncertain future. You will not reach your intended destination every day. Sometimes you will take a few steps backwards or stumble. The destination of this journey may not be clear to you, because as we all know, unexpected things often happen. But just keep going. Progress is every movement you make in this situation. You can let yourself drift and adapt to the flow of these events. It won't hurt, and it will help you save your energy. As soon as you feel overwhelmed by all the demands that life suddenly places on you, give yourself a time out. Take yourself out of the game for a moment and take a step back. You'll regain a better overview and gain momentum for the next day. 4. Stop worrying about what others think. Change is not pleasant, but it always includes a chance to improve your circumstances. You can't assume that no stone will be left unturned in your world for a while, only to return to the same rut from before. Carpe diem is the motto, and you should take it by the horns and the bull by the horns. So far, so good. If you could bring yourself to adopt this view, you're already halfway there. However, your environment may not always approve. People who move on often find that their partners, friends, and families don't approve. We don't like it when someone dares to do something we could never have the courage to do. Some of our contemporaries even deliberately sabotage these ambitions. So it is of the utmost importance on this path to stop worrying about what others think. 5. Trust the process. Life never asks more of us than we can handle. If human evolution shows one thing, it is that we are adaptable and predestined to cope with changing circumstances in the best possible way. It may scare you at first to go on under new auspices. But nothing in life happens without reason. You will undoubtedly emerge from this metamorphosis stronger and wiser. Think of the caterpillar and the butterfly. Don't be driven mad by unsolicited advice from others. Most people rather feast on the misfortunes of their fellows than offer genuine assistance. Who is friend and who is foe? You often recognize only in times of turmoil. You have to go through it. It is useless to be afraid of changes or to try to avoid them by force. Life will find you no matter where you try to hide from it. The sooner you adopt an adult attitude towards change and permanence, the more confidently you will be able to handle the ups and downs in the future. Let's be honest. What would be the alternative? There is none. Life begins with birth, and it ends with death. In between light and shadow, joy and suffering will be in the palm of your hand. You have to go through the pain. How long you allow it, however, to keep you from the beautiful sides of your existence is up to you.